the fluffy hairstyle for wavy or even curly hair. That's what I'm breaking down today. So the one thing I want to make note of is that, can you have a skin fade? Sure. Can you have a low taper fade? Sure, of course. But I think what looks best for these types of haircuts is making sure that you have some sort of length working in through here down. A lot of times you may see people, doing these drop fades where all they do is they cut this part and they leave this whole section of hair through here. What's going to happen is your hair is going to look like it needs to be cut in literally like 3 days because all of this has been left just to create some sort of illusion. To me, what's important about hair cutting, and especially if you're getting a look like this, is make sure that you have a lot of this, cut so it's not just like really, really long in one area. Sure, you can taper the neckline like this so it grows out a little more soft, but notice how all of this is all cut into here but blended up from this point up. Now, the next thing is making sure your hair is long enough, especially if you have wavy or curly hair. For example, this whole front, if I pull it down, it stretches right back about to the eye right there. Watch what happens when I let go. You can see the hair just springs up. So in order for you to have all of this covered in through here, make sure you have enough length so that you have weight to work on. Let's talk about weight. So layering, and I feel like I'm calling myself the layer king because layering is something that it's something I've learned how to do over the years. Layering is really a technique designed to remove what? Weight. So if you actually have your hair layered improperly, it could create a lot of thinning areas in the haircut itself, to where if you were to take this and pull it all straight forward and don't cut any layers, it would be very, very heavy and look very full. You wouldn't see any sort of separation. But when you start to add layers, it removes that weight, so it lightens a lot of this up. So if you are somebody who feels like your hair is just like way too heavy in the front, then you should get layering. But make sure you find somebody who actually understands layering. If you were to cut this or have this cut incorrectly, what's going to happen is this can start to thin out a lot so that the hair may look like this, meaning there's holes cut in it because it's not cut properly, the layers are cut too short, it's removing too much weight. So when you have a layered shape like this or a fluffy hairstyle, if you want to have, curly and you have wavy hair and you want to have some sort of texture, make sure that you have the hair correctly cut. That's going to ensure that it's all balanced. And how do you make sure that's evenly balanced? When you go home, if you're somebody who's a client watching this, you go home and just pull your hair straight up like this and just check to see how even it is. I'm talking mostly throughout the front into here, because throughout the front, right into this area, if you see that it's way too short or it's really short here and long and there's some disconnection going on, that means it wasn't blended or layered properly. And when it comes to styling something like this, there's a few different ways you can go. I always suggest using my Tidal Wave sea salt spray when the hair is damp. Just spray, 2, 3, 4 spritzes the most. You don't need a lot. Then you scrunch it into shape and into place while the hair is damp. You have then 2 options. What you can do is you can blow dry the hair with my blow dryer, and my blow dryer comes with a magnetic diffuser. Right here, I have loads of videos on how to use a diffuser, but essentially you want to not touch the hair, because once you set it like this, scrunch it, then you let the air from the blow dryer and a diffuser diffusing the heat, so it's not just blowing hair all over the place, and it's kind of softening the air pressure, right? So what that does is it really dries it in a very soft way, so you're not disrupting it. The last thing you want to do if you have wavy hair or curly hair is to take the blow dryer with no nozzle, no diffuser, and start blow drying and shaking your head all over the place. That's going to just create a frizzy mess. Or the other option, what you can do is you can spray in Tidal Wave when the hair is damp, and then what you can do is scrunch it into place, and make sure when you are blotting your hair dry, take a towel. You can even use a t-shirt, a cotton t-shirt of yours, and lightly just pat it dry and lightly squeeze it. Don't ever shake your hair all over the place with a towel, because you're going to start making a frizzy mess. Spray a couple of spritz of Tidal Wave, scrunch it, and then set it and forget it and let it air dry. And what's going to happen is it's going to air dry into its own shape based off of how good your haircut is. If you have a crappy haircut, AKA it's cut unevenly, you're going to some random, hair professional who doesn't know how to cut hair properly, then your haircut is going to look like crap no matter what products you use. It doesn't matter, because a butchered haircut is a butchered haircut. The haircut is the foundation. The products just enhance what it is. So you let it air dry, and then maybe when it's fully dry, you can give a little scrunch like this, but you really want to set it and forget it. And those are the key steps to getting a fluffy or having some sort of volume and texture on wavy or curly hair. If you want to purchase any of my products, use code YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com, or you can get them right here when you click on View Products.